All right, welcome to Talkin' Investing. I am Tom, and as always, this is not financial advice. Today, I want to go through Bitcoin and the Bitcoin miners. We cover this content quite a lot on the channel, so if you enjoy this content or if you're new to the channel, please remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Also, everybody, please smash the like button and feel free to drop a comment below. So I've been at the Bitcoin 2022 conference for the last several days, so I need some catching up to do here on the channel. There's been a lot of news, but I want to start out by just looking at Bitcoin and the miners overview and see what's going on, because this was a tough week. First, I just want to show the Bitcoin miner big board and let you guys just take a look at this. Was where everybody closed on Friday. As you go down this list, you'll see it's basically red across the board, other than Core Scientific, which was up just a little over 1%. You know, a lot of the bigger miners were down 2, 3, 4, 5, 6% on Friday, and you'll see they were all down more than that over the course of the week. So this was a tough week for the Bitcoin miners. It was a tough week for Bitcoin, and the miners even underperformed versus Bitcoin. So you'll see some pretty low numbers here. You know, Bitfarms is at $3.18. They were well over $4. Cleanspark is at $10.41. They were almost at $14. You know, this is about a week and a half ago. Hut 8's at $4.69. I won't go through the whole list, but you can find your miner and you'll see. So I want to go look at Bitcoin and what's happening with Bitcoin, because I will tell you, in my opinion, these are very oversold. The miners have been behaving poorly for about 3 weeks now. So I'm trying to comb through and look for the best opportunities. But first, let's just talk about Bitcoin and see what happened. Okay, this is Bitcoin on the 30-minute time chart. So each one of these candles is 30 minutes long. This orange line is where Bitcoin was when the market closed on Friday. And so you'll see we had quite a dip down, and then we've been underneath that line ever since. More importantly, we've been fighting this line right here. So this line at 42,400 has served as both support and resistance over the course of the last 4 or 5 months. This was actually the bottom of the flash crash on December 3rd, so that was kind of a flashpoint, and this has been an important line ever since. When going sideways on these lines of support, ultimately they've been breaking lately. So we'll see if that trend is ready to end or if we've got some more downside ahead. I'm going to zoom out a little bit to put this in perspective. Okay, this is Bitcoin on the 4-hour time frame, so each one of these candles is 4 hours. You can see that just a few days ago, on April 5th, we were well above this purple line, what was resistance, and looked like we had turned it into support. And this line of support is going to be even more important than this purple line of support. So I want to show you the total pullback, because this really has felt like an awful few weeks. But from the top to bottom, Bitcoin's down about 12.5%. So again, this is a very normal pullback in the middle of a bull run. The momentum has not necessarily shifted here at all, but we are getting closer and closer to some points that could start to indicate a shift in the momentum. And most importantly, I'm looking at this spot here was a previous low, so somewhere around 41,000. If we dip below that, then we will start setting lower lows, which we do not want to do. There's a line of resistance right underneath this at just under 40,000. I think it's critical that Bitcoin holds 40,000, or else we may be going down and testing some of these red lines. Having said that, we are still fighting this fight, and this one's not over. So it could very well hold right here and start to bounce back. 12.5% is a normal pullback. I'm going to zoom out again and show you this has pretty much been the pattern. So you'll see since the beginning of this bull run on January 24th, we have had one pullback here of 8%, one pullback here of 9.5%. Then we had a pullback here from February 16th to February 24th, a 22% pullback. Then just a few days later, a 17% pullback. A few days after that, an 11.5% pullback. We were really swinging up and down, and this has been a bumpy ride up. So a 12% pullback does not scare me at all, but we are getting into a point where we need to make sure we don't start setting a lower low. And again, on this scale, you can see it even more clearly. You know, this was our previous low. So we don't want to go below this, or now all of a sudden we're trending in the wrong direction. Additionally, we will recross this line. If we have a lower low, we're probably going to take that line of support out as well. So those would all be bearish indicators in the short term. Since March 22nd, Bitcoin had a massive run up an absolute straight line, green day after green day, all the way up to almost 48,000. Actually, we did hit $48,207, and that run started at $40,871. So you can see there was a couple of week period where Bitcoin was going up very much in a straight line. And typically when that happens, there's always a price to pay. So right now we're at a 12.5% pullback. I don't feel like that's a big price to pay. If we can hold this area and bounce off of it, you can see in general, I've drawn a trend line here, or this arrow. We are headed up and we continue to be headed up. So we haven't broken that trend yet. So if I look at a few of the indicators, we did have a negative crossover on the MACD on April 5th. That was the majority of the price pullback. So we don't know. Right now, this is pretty neutral. I don't know. This potentially could be bottoming out right here, and we could start to see a recovery, or this could continue lower. Very neutral, hard to tell with this indicator right now, so not extremely useful. So we crossed over 50 on the daily RSI on March 15th. Unfortunately, now it's under 50. So this indicator, to me, needs to get back over 50. This would be one of the first indicators that would tell us that we're back on a bullish path. I don't think we've seen any confirmation that we're outside of this upward trend that we've been in for a couple of months now. That would be my default position, but again, very neutral in my opinion right now. We're just gonna have to pay close attention and see what happens. So I will probably try to bring a daily update for the next several days to really watch what's going on with these indicators to see if we can get any sense of whether we're about to be in the short term bullish or bearish. I want to take a look at a few of the Bitcoin miners in specific that I think are showing some opportunity. The first one I want to look at is Bitfarms. So Bitfarms is now down to $3.18 at the close on Friday. You can see this is Bitfarms on the 1-day time frame, so you can see this line at $3 has been very strong support. In fact, even though we did go below this on a daily candle, we have not closed below $3 with Bitfarm really since July of 2021. So this line of support is extremely strong. If this breaks, we did get down to $2.81 intraday for 1 day on February 24th. So that would be Bitfarm's absolute bottom at the moment. So it is approaching these numbers. For me on Bitfarms, the downside risk is low. Even if we dropped all the way back to this intraday low at $2.81, that would be about a 12% pullback. So to me, the downside on this looks small. So what I'm looking for is from a technical standpoint, I'm looking for a couple of these miners that are very near some lines of strong support. And I think Bitfarms is definitely one of those. So again, this is not financial advice. Please do your own due diligence. I'm looking at this situation as a good risk reward right now, being that Bitfarms is very close to a strong line of support, and it appears to be very oversold right now. For me, a very short-term price target for Bitfarms is $4, and I've actually been looking for it to break out and get back to this $5 mark where it was on January 13th of 2022. That's my short-term price target for Bitfarms, and by short-term, I'm saying in the next 1 to 2 months. And obviously that is dependent on what Bitcoin does. But Bitfarms operationally, their operational updates have been very good. They're progressing nicely in hash rate. They're progressing nicely in the number of Bitcoin that they're mining month over month. I see operations going very well at Bitfarms, and I see their stock lagging behind. They are not alone. Most of the Bitcoin mining stocks have been lagging behind over the last 2 or 3 weeks for whatever reason. So this tends to happen from time to time. Sometimes they race ahead, sometimes they lag behind. So I'm trying to look for the best opportunities inside of this moment. Okay, let's look at one more. All right, I want to start out by looking at HUT8. This is on the 1-day time frame, and I've charted this against Bitcoin. So over the last 2 months, you'll see Bitcoin is down just under 5%. HUT8 is down 40% in that same time. So you can see this has drastically lagged over the last 2 months. So this is another one where I see a big opportunity because again, operationally, they seem to be doing well. Their monthly updates have been good. They've progressed in their hash rate. They've progressed in the number of Bitcoin that they mine. They've expanded their lines of revenue and they've made acquisitions. This is a company that has a lot of exciting news going on, and yet it's down 40% versus 5% on Bitcoin over the last 2 months. So let's get rid of the Bitcoin line and just look at this chart on its own. You will see there is a very strong line of support at $4.57. We are at $4.69 right now. So this is all the way back to the price that it was trading at here on January 24th when Bitcoin hit $33,000, here again on March 14th, and now we're retesting this here again when Bitcoin is trading at around $42,500. So, that shows the difference right there, but this line has held. You have to go back to July of 2021 was the last time that HUT8 went below this number. So this has been a very, very strong line of support. and we've bumped into it 3 times here. So again, from a risk reward standpoint, I'm looking at HUT 8 as very oversold. Back on February 10th, this was over $8. It's at $4.69 right now. So just to get back to there would be a 77% increase in the price of this stock. So for me, again, over the next 1 to 2 months, I'm expecting all these things to get healthy again. So I think this is a realistic price target. Please do your own due diligence. This is not financial advice. If you look at any of the other Bitcoin miners, I think you're going to find a very similar pattern. These are the two, in my opinion, that are closest to their lines of support. However, everything has been down over the last 10 days. So again, I'm going to try and keep a close eye on Bitcoin for the next few days because I think we're at a real inflection point. We seem to be very neutral. I'm hoping our line of support holds at 42,400 and we can start moving back up from there. That's all I've got for you on Bitcoin and the Bitcoin miners. I will see you again soon in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and smash the like button.